Most people think that executive coaching is just for big time CEOs who are trying to climb the corporate ladder. They're wrong. In this video, I'm going to break down what an executive coach actually does, who needs one, and then the different kind of things that an executive coach can help you fix. And if you don't know me, my name is Steven, and I've been an executive coach for over 7 years now, which is crazy when I think about it. And I've been working with everyone from business owners to sales executives to professional athletes, all the way down to people who are trying to start off their entrepreneurial journey. And the big things that we focus on are getting clarity on your goals, eliminating distractions, and then putting systems in place to help you build the life that you want. So I've read a few books, and one of the things that they say is that the worst editor for any book is actually the author. An executive coach or a coach of any kind really has a lot of value because they're bringing this outside perspective. And when you're the man or the woman in the arena and you're getting the things done that you need to be doing, our attention can only be focused on so many things. And this is why we just can't see everything that we're doing and that might need to be fixed in order to optimize our performance and just get more or better results out of whatever it is that we're trying to attain or accomplish. I mean, Tiger Woods is one of the greatest golfers to ever live, but he had 4 different swing coaches during the prime of his career. LeBron James is one of the greatest basketball players ever, and yet he had shooting coaches and nutrition coaches and all of these other people to help him outside of his regular coach because they understood that in order to be great, they needed that outside perspective. This is what coaching is all about. But there's a couple different misconceptions that people have around coaching. Like, for instance, a lot of people think that, coaching is just therapy for rich people. Not really. Therapy is really focused more on looking backwards and trying to understand problems there. Coaching will cover a little bit of that, but it's really meant to look forward and push you towards action. Another really big misconception around coaching is the fact that it's only for people who are struggling. Only when things are going terrible or you have this huge amount of pain in this particular area of your life is when you need coaching. I actually think with the results of the people that I've worked with and seeing this with other coaches, that the people who get the best results are the ones who seek out coaching when things are actually going really well, because we don't have to fix as many things and course correct the ship as much. Think about it as like a massive cargo ship, okay? If you have somebody who's really struggling and you're going in the absolute wrong direction in one area, it takes a lot more effort to turn that ship around. It's really slow progress before we can, really start seeing the results. But if we're really just optimizing and tweaking things to make stuff better and you're already headed in a really strong direction, you're just going to see results that much faster. Again, there's a reason why some of the greatest athletes in the world, some of the top CEOs in the world, like, the CEOs of Apple or the CEOs of Berkshire Hathaway, have all had coaches in their life because they recognize the need for that outside perspective to help them see the things that they can't see. So even if you're someone who is the best at what they do, it doesn't mean that coaching can't bring value. The last big misconception I want to talk about is actually true. And that's the fact that people think, well, I can just Google this information or I can talk to AI and they'll be able to tell me everything a coach probably would. That's actually true. You can do those things. But I'll be the first one to tell you my system, the Clarity Machine, and other coaches that I work with that have other techniques and processes and all these other things, we're not sharing anything that's some like divine secret that, has been revealed only to us and nobody else has ever heard of this before, right? You can absolutely go and find the majority of the things that any of us are going to tell you on the internet, even if you didn't know what to look for. Sure, maybe an AI agent could actually tell you these things. But that's not where the value of a coach comes in. Sure, it's helpful. It is part of the process. But again, information is cheap. What coaches are focused on is transformation. What studies have shown is only about 2% of people can read something online or in a book and then can be disciplined enough to implement it in their life in a useful way. So for the other 98% of us out there, we need accountability. We need systems. We need somebody who is going to show us the steps in the order that they need to go in, and then also to call us out on our crap. Because let's be real, sometimes you can get knowledge, you can get the right thing, but then the fear creeps in, the excuses creep in, The I'm busy creeps in. And this is one of the things that a coach is just not going to let slip. They're going to call you out on that. They're going to force you to have honest conversations with yourself about why you're not getting the results, even though you have the knowledge. And then they're going to go help you execute. And that's where the value comes in. Now, I do want to break down a couple different differences between a mentor, a consultant, and a coach. Mentors are great. I have mentors. I'm a mentor to other people. But the point of a mentor is really just to show you what they did and what worked for them. This information is really helpful, but it's not personalized to your exact situation. A consultant is somebody that you bring in either your personal life or your professional life to do one specific thing for you. They're fixing one specific problem. And that's great. But the point is they come in, they fix it, and you don't actually gain the knowledge or the skill set in order to be able to do it yourself. And that's fine, but that's what you're paying a consultant to do. An executive coach helps you solve a multitude of high-level problems and really challenge your thinking and behaviors and beliefs in certain areas. The focus is to help you build an overarching strategy for things and really make sure that you execute on it. That's where the magic happens. So let me tell you a story about one of my clients named Dennis as an example. He was bringing home about $350,000 a year from his business that he owned. And he was working about 70 hours a week, and that had been pretty consistent over the past few years. And it was really starting to drag on him, cause some burnout, strain in his marriage, a couple other things. So what we did is we really started to focus on the systems in his life, not just on the professional side, but on the personal side as well. A lot of times that gets skipped. And what a lot of professionals don't realize is that in order to optimize their professional performance, they actually need to optimize their personal life. And we don't believe here at Life Builder and with the people I work with, we don't believe in work-life balance. We believe in work-life harmony. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. That's a different video. But what ended up happening was that over the course of 3 months, we basically cut down his workload by 20 hours. So he was only working 50 hours a week. But then what ended up happening over the course of that year is that they increased their revenue by 40% with the changes that they were able to make. So forgetting about the business and just focusing on his personal results, basically what happened is he was making about $96 an hour when we calculated what he was bringing home versus the time that he was investing in his business. So ignoring what we did for the business and focusing on the personal results for a bit, when we grew the revenue of the company, he was then able to bring home $400,000 that year. And then what ended up happening is because he was only working 50 hours a week while that was still happening, his marriage was better and he was able to do more golf, something he was really looking forward to, really excited about, enjoy some hobbies. A lot of people don't get to do that as much. But one of the big factors is that he went from making $96 an hour, if we broke it down on a per hour basis, to making $153 an hour. So when you look at the overall impact to it, he essentially got a 60% raise and his business was doing better and he had a happier wife and a happier life. It's a pretty good outcome. One of the best things about Dennis's story is the fact that it's not uncommon at all, not just with people that work with me, but people who work with executive coaches everywhere. This is what we do. Now, some executive coaches are really just going to be focused on helping you optimize your professional life and your business. That's not a bad thing, but I personally think it's a mistake not to also take the personal side into account. And that's what we do at Life Builder, because it's not about work-life balance. It's about work-life harmony. It's about integrating the two. And when you do that, you get way better results than if you just focus on one side. So one of the biggest things that I focus on when I'm working with people is your 5 most precious resources, or your teams, which is your time, energy, attention, money, and soul. And ultimately, how you invest those 5 resources is going to dictate the output of your life. And the way that we evaluate how those are being invested is by looking at different things like your time management, your attention management. We look at cash flow, both for the business and in your personal life. There's going to be a lot of different things that we go through when we walk through the Clarity Machine, which is the system that we use on this. So it doesn't matter if you're the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, or if you're an athlete that's trying to get to the pros, or if you're somebody who just started up their own business. The point of a coach is always going to be the same. It's going to help you get extreme clarity on what it is you want to attain or accomplish, and then coming up with systems and holding you accountability to execute in order to make sure that you are successful. So if you want to dive deeper into coaching, you can look at some other videos, but on our website, we also have a lot of free resources. There's testimonials. There's actually some free tools that you can use for different things. So check those out and then schedule a call with us if it's something you're interested in.